I'm the running realtor, Brandon Harrell with Top Villas Realty. And one of the best parts about building a short-term rental property, to me, is the themed rooms. That's where you get that theme park experience in a house setting. So I'm excited tonight to be hanging out with some friends of mine that are going to talk about that with us. So I want to introduce Kathy and Stan Falkowski and Cody Meacham. And these guys are with KAST Creative. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about the whole process and what it takes to build a themed room. So thanks guys for coming in. And I know we were talking a little bit, laughing, having a good time before, but one of the things I really wanted to get into was just kind of like your process about when you go through to build a house. Kind of wanted to pick your brains. I know you guys love theme parks. You love that creative side. But really, how do you even get started with a project like that?
Well, the first thing that we really want to do is meet with the intended client and see where their vibe's at and see how much they want to put into it and what they really want their guests to have. Like, there's so many different elements you can have and all these things that you really want to pinpoint something special and what makes it special to them. And you want to hone in on that because they're your client first off.
Sure.
And then your secondary client is their guest. So you want to give it something special to them and then give it a little spice.
Yeah. We really do custom work in the way that we do want to please the final client. We do want to please whatever vision the owner of the house has, and that's very important to us to really talk and have as many exchange that we can to have a global vision. And I think we work on trust, and we work on, okay, we get your vision and you trust us to have all the ideas to go around your vision. And I think that's the way we work. We may have ideas on the spot and we may grow the idea and grow the project as we go on, always with that first interaction that we had the first time.
Okay, I think that's really a great point because you're connecting with somebody you can meet, but somebody and multiple somebodies that you're not going to meet. So I think that's where it's important that you guys have a love for what you're doing too, and have a passion for the theme parks, because you're able to kind of pull from experiences or things that were something that spoke to you, whether it was as a child or as an adult or as a teen, so that you can try to pass that on. Now with that, do you feel like, do most of your clients bring ideas to you, or most of them want ideas from you?
Most of them have an idea set, and we definitely take that idea and really refine it. In this industry, when you say, oh, we're scenic artists, people don't know what that is. People don't know what scenics do. And we build the theme parks. We do, all of us are hands in every theme park in Orlando. So when you go into there and they give you an idea, it's like, okay, I'm going to take that, I'm going to run with it. And you tell me when to stop. You tell me when to hold back, because I can go to the moon. But if you only, got enough money to go to Cincinnati, that's where we're going. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I mean, there's always a budget question, but there's also practicality. We know, in order to make rocks, we know that this is a special process that may cost a lot of money, but maybe doing a simple shapes and using mostly substrate as wood or something simpler, we can shape the ideas to fit the budget or to fit, whatever restrictions we have on the room or to space, or if it's drywall, if we have access to stud or height. Like, there's so many variables that maybe someone may not be aware of, or consequences of ideas, and we shape the idea depending on that to make sure that the customer has whatever he wants, but that is doable.
I love that you guys have experience in the theme parks, because that shows people that what you're paying for, you're not just getting just something generic. You're getting something from people who are building the attractions and the things that people love. And that creativity, the fact that what you said, when you were talking about you take that idea and you build on it, I'm thinking about an old Disney term that Walt used to say that you plus it. You always want to take that idea, and if it sounds like it's easy to do on paper, throw it in the trash and start over, because you want to do that thing that's almost impossible to do. And so I think that's cool to see people that are utilizing that talent and utilizing that vision and being able to do that, because a lot of times you're walking into a room that's a blank canvas, or
it's the most intimidating part.
Yeah, it has to be. And so you have to be able to visualize not just what they're telling you, but how it's going to fit into this space. So maybe we can talk a little bit about that process, about how you even go from there.
I think that part that you're saying, I think that's key, because all of us, when we go to a theme park, we are fans before makers or before creators. And I think we all agree that what we want is, not what we want, what we love about the parks is that we are blown away. We are immersed, and it's something that is really just takes our breath away. And that's, I think, the key and the beauty of scenic art and theming, or whatever name you can put to that. And that's what we're trying to replicate. And this is where the theme room has its importance. It's not just decoration. It's not just, it's really trying to take the client's breath away and to have something immersive, and you can touch and you can feel that this is a space that it was a room, 4 walls, and it became a mountain. It became a world. It became whatever. Yes, exactly.
I think it's the most fun part about what we do, especially the last room that we did. I won't use the movie name, but it was a Hawaiian or Polynesian themed room, and you have your original design and you have the elements, all the elements there, and then we start to build them, and then we run into a little bit of some problems, like, oh, this doesn't fit the way we thought it would. It doesn't look as visually pleasing as we originally thought it would. And then coming up with a solution together is the most fun part. Collaborating is like, we created this bridge that we we never even thought we were going to do, and it became this faux, what do you call it? Suspension bridge.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
found wood suspension bridge that we just all came up with on the fly.
Which was solid.
One of my favorite things about that.
It was truly like one part of your idea, one part of mine.
Yeah.
Like you brought something, I brought something, she brought something. That's where the passion meets. It's like literally during a project, we think of it 24/7. And if we go to Target, just get groceries for our week, we will look at the pillows to see if there's anything color-wise, shape-wise that will fit the room you want right now.
Always.
No, and I love that, because that process, that's what a lot of people may overlook. Because when you're an artist, it's not about just your vision or your vision or your vision or even the client's vision. It's a collective, and you have to be on the same page, and check your egos at the door. Because if you really want your idea to be the idea that lands and it doesn't make the final cut, you have to be like, no, it's for the better good, because the finished product is what matters. And I think one of the coolest things when I talk to investors all the time is like, you can invest your money in a lot of things. You can invest it in the stock market, you can invest it at the dog track, you can invest it anywhere you want to do it. But this is an opportunity to invest in memories for people. And I think back, why we all have love for theme parks. We were talking about it over dinner the other night, just some of the memories as kids and things and what it brought to us. You're helping be part of that, because the fact that you have an opportunity for a kid to go home and their favorite part of their vacation was that bed that they were sleeping in, or that theater that, or the game room, or something that you guys had your hand on. That's it's a lot of responsibility, but it's also really cool that you would never know that kid, meet that kid, but then he'll grow up, he'll take his kids to vacation and properties like that because of those memories. So that's something I think that it gets overlooked in that I think is huge. But I think that's what the theme parks were designed for, because so many people develop a love for it because of a traditional thing or something that they grew up on, or it's even if it came in later in life, maybe it becomes passionate. We were talking to people at a table. We were sitting with people over lunch. They were sharing their table with us because there was nowhere to sit, and they were just talking about how they she was about to turn 50 and was coming to Disney World for her 50th birthday party. It's like, you never grow out of that. It's something that lasts for many people their entire life. So it's really cool what y'all do. So if you've got like one maybe favorite project that you could share for each of you, we'll take a turn, because it may be different, but I think it'll be interesting to see. So Cody, we'll start with Cody. So he's on the end. He's
based on projects that we've done, or like themed rooms, or
could be whatever you want it to be.
I mean, yeah.
Your favorite project in your field?
Okay. Oh, that's a hard question.
You want us to come back to you?
You might have to come back.
Okay.
Pass.
Kathy was jumping out of her chair ready to go.
No, I mean,
We have so many. There's too many.
You guys think about it. You have more experience than me. I will start. Okay.
go ahead.
So my favorite project, I would say, is can I name brands?
If you want to, okay.
I don't know, can we?
She's saying.
Okay. You'll edit it. So the favorite project that I have so far, I have a little less experience, but I think that's where I started as a Scenic with very basic tasks. But the first task the first time that I gained experience and gained skills was Stranger Things, and it was a haunted house, Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, which one?
Which one?
It was the first one. The first one is very emotional for me because of that. Because I got to actually do more than smaller tasks and really participate into what the public see and what the clients see. And on top of that, I think that always hit home is when you have a favorite show or you have something that you really connected with and you see it in real life and you are here. I think, and I'm coming back full circle on the immersion, but I think it's the key of our business. But this is when we got done with Stranger Things, and I will look at this gigantic monster and all the upside down, I was like, wow, I feel like I'm in the movie. I am blown away and I participate in this. And that really is dear to my heart.
So we can take this out if we need to, or if it was hearsay, but I heard that you guys had somebody come to you from the show.
Yeah, the Duffer Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
After season 1.
We consider
That
it
season,
on the next
not
one.
season 1, the house one.
Mhm.
It was so close to the show. Well,
It was better
than the show. So the show is made out of craft paper. It looked like crap.
We had a lot of reference photos like, oh, you want us to make things out of paper?
Yeah.
So we had to make, it's
with
all
a camera,
CGI.
you can do whatever.
It was all CGI. So we had to replicate CGI in real life.
Where people look at the show.
We did so good.
Like people are a couple of inches from the
Touching.
walls and touching it, and that's why we have. And it has to last, so it has to be hard enough. Or this is a different game than
That is. I love that because you're talking about durable stuff, whether it's HHN stuff, whether it's theme park stuff, whether it's themed rooms in rental houses. It's got to be safe. It's got to be durable, and I think that's interesting. What you guys are able to do to see it and say, okay, let's problem solve. Let's figure out what's the best material to use, because it's not like you can just use the same thing for every job. That's cool.
Yeah, guests are heathens no matter where you are.
Yeah, you can
Either
do
a
that.
vacation home or a theme park, they will pick, throw, scratch. I don't know what they do, but they do a lot.
Apparently, mom and dad don't either in a lot of cases, so that's fine. So, all right. So, have you got one yet?
That was a really good one.
That was a really good
Because that
one.
was my first. That was my first year with you guys too,
and it's truly
and I got to make the.
That was my first year.
I don't know what's it called? The portal.
The portal.
The portal.
yeah.
That was my first year running it solo.
Right.
That was a
This year was special.
That was a
really
super
special year
special
in house for sure.
Was it the same year with Ghostbusters?
No, that was the next year.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I think personally as an artist and as a boss, I don't know how to say that, but like,
Boss ass bitch.
Halloween Horror Nights will always and forever be something so near and dear to me. Not only have I learned so much about themed rooms, like I've done projects for, Volcano Bay, I've done stuff for Universal. I used to work the Scenic at night at Universal, and then I've done Galaxy's Edge with a company. So I've done it all, but Halloween Horror Nights and working for that has truly tested my limits of everything. It's everything, and being able to produce that type of quality, because it used to not be such high quality. It used to just be a haunted house. But now it's movie theater, movie quality, and being the forerunner of that and having a bunch of beautifully talented people that, that are really the success of that it's a lot of weight on my shoulders, but the fact that I can do it and I exceed in that, it's crazy. I trust myself now because of that.
I think that's a great mini segue, because there's so much inventory in this market for, if you're talking from the rental house perspective. And I tell people all the time, don't cut money out of the budget for your themed rooms. That's where you need to spend your money, because that's where you will make your money. Mom and dad's good, they got a comfortable bed, and the kids are happy. That's, put the money where it's going to appeal to the kids. But the expectations now have gotten so much higher because of the inventory, because of how good CGI even is on shows now, and what we're accustomed to seeing. We grew up on Star Wars, and it was, basically little models with, string attached, and we thought it was the coolest thing ever. And so now the bar is so much higher. So you guys have to constantly reinvent yourself, even what you're doing. And we were talking about that, at dinner the other night, about all the different technological aspects that you're trying to implement and how you're trying to stay in front of that. So it's not just to be good at your craft, it's about incorporating other people and other things too. So that's a really cool thing, because now, man, you walk in some of these places and it's better than the theme parks in some cases. So
that's part of the fun. It's actually, that's part of the fun, and that's part of the cost. The reason why it costs so much, there's a material part, because as you said, it needs to be durable. The way it's durable is because we mostly work with whatever is sculpted is usually foam, so it needs to be covered with plastic, with resin. So resin is very, very expensive. I don't know if there's any hobbyists out there, but so the material costs a lot of money. But what costs a lot of money is also the time, because every single project we had to figure out stuff for that project. And it's basically reinventing ourselves every time, because not just because it's custom, because every project is different, and you have to, it's basically problem solving at the same time that the creation. And that's part of the fun, but that's why the money is there. It's not just because it's not free money. It's really something that takes a lot of time, a lot of thoughts, a lot of material that are just expensive for us. So that's why the money is there. It's not just you get the phone from Apple and you get a phone from Android. It's so fun at the end of the day. There is a justification to that.
I think if you really think about it, I've been painting since I could paint. Since I could hold something. I was, to my mom's dismay, she had an antique side table, and the second I learned how to write my name, I did calligraphy of my name in this antique side table. So I've been I've been honing my craft since I was so little. You started doing haunted houses when you were 17?
Yeah.
Doing his own haunts at your parents' house. These are things we've been working at our craft and perfecting our craft, and every day we come on and we perfect it, because you're never gonna know everything. Every day I learn something new today from an artist, and I was like,
that's one of the best things about
I'm stealing it and keeping it in my backpack.
It's working with new people and learning new techniques from them.
So every job we do, it's something new, and we learn it and grow from it, and makes us better.
All right, so Cody, now it's on you, brother. What is your favorite project? And if it's the same one, it's okay.
It's not okay. But yeah, Horror Nights, Horror Nights is the best because we get to do everything. Like, we get to try and experiment with everything. Because, basically we're given free reign, we're given renderings, just drawings, just color drawings, and there's so much trust involved. Like, they give us these renderings with like, we know you're great, so just do whatever you want. And it's just like, okay. And we're working with like Stranger Things and Ghostbusters and all these crazy IPs. I love that so much, but I feel lame for saying that. But
your result is checked. Is do whatever you want, but it has to be validated.
Right.
You have to produce something.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to, look like the movie or the show or whatever. But yeah, it's my passion because I started doing haunted houses on my own, and that's kind of how I got to Orlando and working for Horror Nights. But I think the thing I love the most about what we do is extending the universe of a franchise or an idea, because we have to oftentimes fill in the blank spaces ourselves. Especially like with themed rooms, you're taking an idea and you're having to cater it to a very specific box. And you don't want it to be a box. You want to open the door and be like, well, are we still in the house? Or like, what is this? We want to blow people's minds. And so that gives you creative license to justify things that you have to deal with in a house setting, but under the story of whatever your story is. And I think that's a big part.
And I mean, because fans of a particular franchise or universe or whatever, it's not like they're not going to blast you.
Right.
They're very understanding if you misconstrue the story at all. I mean, it's they're good with that. They're always good with that. So no, I mean, that's cool because it gives you freedom, but it also keeps you reined in at the same time. So that's challenging, I'm sure, as artists.
Yeah,
to do that.
It's such a great exercise to figure out the blank spaces, of that story. I think that's so cool.
And it makes you have to be immersed yourself into this story that someone else created.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I'm here. Why am I here? What's happening? What's around me? And it is just a great exercise of honing our craft every time.
And working with Disney right now, like, even though it's shocking to me that Disney's not holding us to like a micromanagement level for some reason. I don't know how we're doing that right now.
I don't know how we got it all right the first time. I have no idea.
They're always happy. And I'm like, oh, so they want me to wear this railing where like a woman's wedding ring would scratch the surface a little bit more here, and like it's just the stupid things that they're like, no, that's great. Cool. You're done.
Yeah.
That's where the passion is.
Yeah.
But we were,
something will bug you if you don't know exactly what it is, but it's not right, and something is bugging you because of those details. And those details are
three-dimensional.
Like, you put your soul into it, you put your thought all the time. And that's those little thing, that little extra that you put.
That's what sells Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney is always that extra. There's 3 levels of storytelling. There's the faraway castle, there's a closer Main Street, and then there's the doorknob on the door to Main Street that's worn in a certain way, in a specific way. I mean, that's Disney. And it's easily recognizable when you don't have that layer. Yeah. It's obvious.
Well, this has been a great conversation, and one that's probably going to continue in many, many years to come between all of us. But for now, we're going to end things here. So if you want more information on how to buy one of these properties and get connected with some of these great, amazing artists, contact me, the running realtor with Top Villas Realty. I want to thank my friends from KAST Creative for a great time. But until next time, we'll see you.
Thank you.
Bye.